Here you go. You never guess what I found in my attic.
Let me guess, a plague of rats?
Really funny, but no. I found this old box. It contains all the old movies of our great-grandparents, way back to the 19th century. My mom used to collect these, but most movies are filmed during World War I. I've already watched some of them.
Oh, that's amazing. I have also found some old movies of my family, but they go only back to World War I.
Yes, there are more movies of our great-grandmothers though.
I've always found it interesting to know how the women lived during that period, because yes, the men went fighting, but what happened with the women?
Yeah, you're right. My grandfather used to tell stories about women who had to work during World War I, and had to take care of the children, and they have to provide their income.
Most women went to work at a factory or became a nurse, like my great-grandmother did.
You know what? Why don't you watch some of them?
That's a great idea. Can we watch my movie first? I bet my great-grandmother was the most interesting one.
Fine, but I'm next.
During World War I, the living conditions changed. The men had to fight for their country and the women had to be creative and flexible to provide their income. A lot of them started working at the factories. As a young girl, Bertha Lawrence started working at the Belgian military laundry works Eversem. Her job included washing, ironing and repairing the soldiers' clothes. She also met her future husband Omer Verplanken here.
So Bertha was an example of most women in that period. They had to work really hard.
Yes, women were paid very bad, and kids even worse.
They were exploited by the fabrics boss.
So, who's next?
It's my turn.
Okay.
Suzanne Lippens-Orban was born in Brussels in 1887. Her family was a Belgian noble family. She married with Paul Lippens when she was 19 years old. They had 3 children together. She studied nursing in the hospital of Ghent. When the war started, her husband went to the front. She sent her children to Switzerland so that they would be safe. Her man got wounded and died in the hospital of the Panne, where she worked. The head of the hospital supported her to work very hard for the patients and especially for the soldiers. She started an organization of nurses. She worked for a feminist movement. She became a member of the Red Cross and presented the National Council of Belgian Women. She died when she was 84 years old.
It would be hard to see the spam coming in every day. These women saw directly the consequences of the war.
A lot of men were also traumatized or shell-shocked.
But that wasn't the worst part of the war. I found a video of one of my family members who got shot in a cruel way. The horror found place on October the 12th, 1918. Yvonne left school to accompany her mother to prepare a meal for her family. On her way home, she passed the Circus Saint-Edouard. There she saw a group of French soldiers gathered together, accompanied by some German soldiers. Yvonne saw how hungry and exhausted the French soldier looked, so Yvonne wanted to help the soldier by sharing her cookie, which she had received that morning. But before she actually could give the cookie to one of the French soldiers, she got shot by one of the German soldiers, just because she wanted to help a French soldier.
Stay away from him! I am speechless.
That shows us how cruel the Germans are.
Yeah, that's right.
Who is the last one?
That's me. Okay.
Bert was 22 years old when World War I started. She lived in West Rosebeke, where she helped the wounded soldiers. At the end of January 1915, she went to Klein Seminary in Roeselare to continue her work. There, an agent of the British Secret Service gave her the job of spy. Martha became Laura, her code name. She passed on information of the Germans to the Allies. But in 1916 she got caught. At the end of the war, she got liberated by the British. She went to Antwerp and married John McKenna. He wrote the bestseller I Was a Spy. The book was adapted to a movie in 1933. In Great Britain, Martha became a war hero, but in Flanders she was unknown. She died in anonymity in 1966 in West Rosebeke.
She was a brave woman.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the courage to do that.
So women actually had to find a way to survive. Some women needed money for their children, and other women sent their children to Switzerland for their safety.
Yeah, but maybe some women did it for their country.
Yeah.
In World War I, women had to take over the traditionally male jobs. They took over their jobs.
World War I was also the trigger for women's emancipation. Women received the rights to vote.
Yeah, I think. Oh, it's already very late.
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah. I will put this back in a safe place.
Bezig? Bezig?